Well, good morning everybody and welcome back to Living La Dolce Vita, the front room refurb, part 3 I believe. So just to bring you up to speed, so I've obviously, as you can see below me, put the flooring down so far. I mean it's only loosely fitted at the moment, so obviously. Now then, yes, so obviously I've exposed all this area here now, and got a couple of problems. So, well, let's go through them then. Right, first problem, you probably can see, is how out of line these beams are, and I don't know why they've done it like that, because not as if they couldn't have brought it this way a bit by shortening that beam, this bit of beam here. So that's that one. That's one problem. Now they've, as you can see, I don't know if you can see, but all these beams are just loosely sitting on what is laughingly called a piece of masonry. It's just an odd bit of brick or whatever. I mean, this is unbelievable. They're bloody... Oh, excuse my French. Anyway, so that's that. So this, I'm assuming, this piece here is a piece to accommodate the edge of the floor. My God. And the same with these. And I'm not quite sure why they didn't, they've tagged on a little bit of beam here, I'm assuming to bring it up to there, because it offers no structural support because there's nothing underneath it. Where they couldn't have got a beam to stretch a little bit further, I don't know, but there we are. Same here, same there, and then with this piece here, you can't see it, but you have to take my word for it that it's quite rotten at that end. And I notice now this main beam here is a little bit rotten at this very end here, which is why they've repaired it with some sort of, goodness knows what they've done here, plastic bag, for God's sakes. Anyway, I think what's happened is the beam was so long, it was touching the outside wall, and damp was going across from the wall to the end of the beam and rotted it away, because every other beam is short of the wall, as you can, I don't know if you can see, it's short of the wall and sitting on, actually it's not even sitting on a damp course. So that beam is sound. The end is, what I may do, I'll see, right, I may trim off the end of that a bit, but the major problem is I'll have to replace this, because, as I say, it's quite rotten at that end and that end, or in there actually. I'm not quite sure why, because it's not in touch with the wall. Yes. Anyway, so, and then that's some of the issues. I think, actually, when I replace this, what I shall do is I'll cut this. I'm hoping I've got a hacksaw blade that I can get between here to cut the nails, because otherwise I'm never going to get it out otherwise. Yeah, hoping I'll be able to get a long hacksaw blade to go down between, cut the nails. I've got a piece of wood more or less that size. As I say, it only supports the floor on that edge, I believe. That's all, because it's doing nothing else as far as I can work out. And then replace that piece here. I've got, I'll show you now in a minute, I've got what I've got to replace that with. So then I can fix the new piece from that, on that end to that end, before I fix that to that. That one's easy because it's a screw straight through, and a screw down in that way. but this one would be awkward. So if I can fix him before I put him onto that one, that should work. Well, as you can see, all these beams sitting on a dwarf wall under the bay. Yeah. Now then, when I say to people why it's cold in here and drafty, it's because there's the vent hole. I don't know if you can see it. Watch it on drop the camera now. But it actually, I'll see if it'll go up underneath. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if that will come out. Time will tell when I do the editing. But anyway, that hole is virtually in line and above the floor level. So the air's coming through across the floor. No wonder the carpets were lifting. Unbelievable. I just don't know why they did that. Doesn't make sense to me. But there we are. Because you just want the underneath to be, to take the moist air away, isn't it? As far as I can work out. And I'm not sure. I felt up underneath, but I was hoping there'd be some sort of gap between the inner and outer wall, an air gap. But they filled it in, I think, with some cement. So obviously now, any air coming up can't work its way. I don't know if these are hollow walls, but I, can't air the walls inside. Oh, jeepers. Anyway. Right, so as I say, what I'm going to do now is I've got I'm not quite not sure what they call it, but it's a handle which you can put a hacksaw blade in to free up one end so that you can get down, and I'm hoping I'll be able to get down between the joists to cut the nails off, put a new piece in there, and as I say, attach the new piece of that to that when it's off, and then hopefully it'll fit back in, and just I'll put glue on it as well, glue it and screw it. I think what's probably happened, it's been in touch with the wall, and I think they've rendered the wall at some point inside, so if that's touching any wood, any damp will travel across, but it'll bound to do that, so there's no point of keeping it away from the wall. But when all that's out, I'll be getting down underneath, because I need to I've got some damp course material. All these ends I'm going to shove a piece of damp course underneath, because that end one is loose, and most of them there's enough play in them for me to lift them up. Put a damp bit of damp course underneath them, and not quite sure what to do with this one, because obviously the wood's in good nick. Oh, actually, it may go across. Well, it's only going to go across a little bit. I may screw that into that to tighten it all up. But it's a massive gap here and a small gap here. Ideally, that needs to come this way. But I don't want to get involved in cutting this and trying to reset it all. Because I've got enough to do that one as well. Yeah, I'll have to have a think about that. Right, so, and as I say, to replace that piece, I've got, I say it's not structural, so it doesn't really doesn't need much. So I've bought this piece here, as you can see. So a piece of that on the end, and you may be thinking, right, what do I want with that great big lump of wood? Well, I shall be putting that. I've got some joist hangers strange how what you keep back from other jobs. So I got a couple of joist hangers there, so I'm going to put that beam underneath this beam, from the brickwork underneath, all the way across to that wall, up underneath all the beams. Excuse me. And that will effectively make these long beams shorter, if that makes any sense to you. You know, because that will support the middle of the span of these. It's not a major issue, but there is a bit of bounce in the floor, so I've done it in the back room and it seems to have worked. Stiffens up the whole floor a bit to stop all that bouncing up and down, or at least it helps anyway. So that's the reason for that, and should have enough of that beam up there to cut an end off to fit in there. I might even have enough to do that one as well. I might just bite the bullet and do that one and that one at the same time, two together. Oh gee whiz. Yeah, anyway, right, I'm going to sign off for now, and I may do a bit of time lapse of the operation. Bye for now. Okay everybody, welcome back. So I managed to get this piece of wood out of here, and the tool I've used to get through the nails was, I don't know if you can see it, basically what it looks like. That might mean. Anyway, so yes, it's very handy for getting down little gaps to cut nails and things like that, so that worked fine, fortunately. Now then, I've got another little think over here on this section here. I'm trying to work out why this beam was out of alignment. Now I was going to take this piece out and straighten him up, but what I've discovered is he's too short. So if I bring him this way, there's going to be nothing underneath the end of it to support it. So this wood is sound, so I'm going to leave it in situ. It's a pain in the neck, I know. I mean, I may move that one back a little bit and screw him into that piece there, but yes, I'm gonna have to live with that, I think. But as I say, all the beams, all the ends of the beams, I'm going to be just easing them up and putting some damp proof underneath, damp course underneath. Right, job in hand. So I've measured the big beam across the floor, so I need 270, so I've managed to cut a piece that size off. I'm going to trim this piece off here because it's rotten at the end. Trim him off and then glue and screw this piece to that onto the end there. And hopefully that will sort that out. Yes, anyway, so I'm going to put the camera down. You can watch me toil and sweat. It's a warm one today. Bear with me. So, I need to get rid of this insulation out the way, so I can get down there. Right. Right. So you can't see it from here, but when they've rendered the wall, they've obviously re-rendered this because of damp issues, I would imagine. But what they've done is they've rendered up tight to the beam, and I suspect it's worked its way through the concrete and into the end of the beam, the damp, and rotted away. So I'm going to chip all that away before I put the beam back in properly. So, how far back? How sound is it? There's a pencil. take him back to there, I think. To begin with. So, yeah, I'll take him back to there to begin with. Go from there. Right. Gee whiz, it's warm. Anyway, in case you're wondering, I'm 5'10", and this is up to my shoulder. Oh well, there, up to my chest. That's how much space is down underneath here. Seems a shame to waste all that space. And anyway, no nails in the way, as you can see. So once I start cutting this, there's no going back. Easy. Yeah. Okay, welcome back. I hope you can see alright there. Just suddenly occurred to me, I thought, well, there is no weight on this beam really, but just in case, plus that's why it's binding up on the saw. So I've just temporarily screwed this piece of wood just to brace it while I... And that's their idea of damp gauze, plastic bags. I don't know. Unbelievable rubbish. Oh dear God. I'll put one here. That should do it. If you ever buy these battery tools, Makita or whatever, I have got two batteries, but get three because you can have one charging, and because you'll go through a battery quite quickly. Surprising. Anyway, what am I doing? Yeah. Right. So, yeah. Actually, I don't need it at that end, do I? Move that up there. Where's the pencil going? Don't know why I moved it all up there. Glue. Don't know if you can see this. Anyway. Yeah, I'm always in demand here. Anyway, let's get rid of that. Right. Whole shirt, doesn't matter. Right. Should do it. Right. I'm going to do it this side because now what I didn't realise is this, the width of this beam, or the depth, whichever way you want to look at it, is bigger than the original beam. I didn't measure it. As a result, I was hoping to keep it flush with the top of this, and that would be a, you know, I wouldn't, and that would be fine. Unfortunately, I've had to jack this beam up, obviously because it's dropped. I've had to jack it up and get this one now is obviously above this, the height of this original beam. So the only way around that would be I get my planer on it. I'll plane it as far as I can, and then, you know, chisel. Yeah, I'll have to chisel out the rest under there because otherwise the floor won't go underneath. So, right, let's get some more screws in. One more screw and I should be able to take that G-cap off. I don't need to pre-drill. There's that one. There's the other one. There. Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the front room refurb. Now then, the last bit of the film before this, just a little bit of time-lapse me starting to fix this piece here and get the measurements, etc. So I've finally done the work. It's getting late in the evening now, so I'm just want to finish off the film. I don't know if you can see in this light. So I've put a piece, so as I said, I've put this piece in here now to replace the older piece that was rotten. That'll be fine because obviously the floor is going to sit on there. So put a new bit of piece on that. Glue, did I glue it? I can't remember now. Yes, I think I did. Glue and screw it to that. And as I said, I fixed that piece to that piece, sorry, that piece to that piece before I joined that to that, you know, for obviously to get the screws in there. Then I put a screw, glued and screw through that one, into that one, and the same on that end. And then that piece of beam that I replaced earlier, I've planed it down, so now, and I know it fits, the floor fits because I've got a little offcut of flooring which I fitted underneath, so I know that fits properly under there. So that's that little area done now. I've also, you can't see it at the moment, but under these beams I've put some damp course, plastic damp course, and I shall put them under these pieces here on the dwarf walls, on the dwarf wall, although it doesn't seem to need it. Yeah, what is it? This is the it's just plastic DP membrane. So I just cut pieces up and put it under the beams. Just going back to this piece here again. Yeah, it was, if I brought him this way, it wouldn't, the wall wouldn't support the end, so I'm going to leave that. I'm just going to live with it. Yeah, so tomorrow now, I'm going to, I've already started marking up this piece that I'm standing on. You probably can't see it from here in this light. So I started to measure and thinking about cutting it, and I was so tired I thought, no, I'm going to stop now, because it's not just a simple straight line. It's, it's well, to me it's a complicated line there and then a line in there. So to make sure that the edges go under the skirting board, I want to make sure my measurements are correct, and I don't want to do that with a tired mind. Anyway, so tomorrow I shall cut this to fit around there, and then another piece to go in there, I expect, and then take it all back out, and then I can start putting the underfloor, the insulation between the joists. That's the theory. Anyway, so that's the end of part 3, I believe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.